Hi everyone, welcome to my green closet. So years ago I made a video on my makeup capsule, and I call it a capsule because it's pretty similar to a capsule wardrobe in the sense that it's a minimal amount of products that all kind of work well together. And I'm still using this same concept, although I am using different products now, so I thought it would be good to do a little updated video. So this is the current makeup capsule I have and also the look that I wear basically every day. So let's jump into it. So I start off with a tinted moisturizer with SPF, and I'm currently using the Coola Unscented Matte Tint Mineral BB Cream. So I used to use the Coola Rosalescence Tinted Moisturizer, and I actually prefer that one better than this one. I decided to try this one because this one has a more matte finish. The other one's a very dewy finish, which I actually quite like, but it has a lot of mica in it, which I try to avoid. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't have mica, but I'm not totally sure. And this one is also a lot cheaper, so I wanted to see if this one was the same or comparable, but I definitely do prefer the other one. This one does give you a matte finish, but I don't find that it lasts all day. Now, if you watched my recent body care video, I talked about how I was having some skin issues and some dryness and oiliness with my combination skin, as well as some acne and redness. And my skin has actually been getting better, like quite a bit better, I'd say, in the last couple weeks. Before, I was having a lot of those skin issues, and sometimes now I will just do the tinted moisturizer and a powder, but if I want to wear a bit more makeup or if I'm having a bit more redness and skin issues, I still really love using the RMS Uncover Up. I have this in the 000 shade, which I believe is the lightest shade. This is quite an oily concealer, so it works well on the drier areas of my face, but I do need to put a powder over top of it. So I'm just putting this on the dark circles under my eyes, and then I'm gonna go over any darker and red spots on my face. And I really like the coverage of this concealer. I think it still has a really natural finish. It's not super opaque, but it works well for covering up like discoloration and redness. So after I'm finished with the concealer, like I said, I do need to use a powder over top just to kind of set it, and otherwise I will get quite shiny and oily. And I'm currently using the Alima Pure Primer Powder, and so this is supposed to be a matte oil balancing powder, and they say it's a primer for their foundation powders. It does have a bit of color to it, but it is more sheer. Obviously it is like a primer powder, it's not one of their foundation powders, which I assume you'd get a lot more coverage from. And I definitely am interested in trying out some of their foundation powders because I do really like this. And I think that would work well if I just did the tinted moisturizer and then some powder. But because, like I said, I've been having just some more skin issues, I like having the concealer as well. So then I'm gonna put a bit of this on and specifically focus on the oilier areas of my face. And the thing I really like about this powder compared to some other powders that I've tried is it doesn't at all leave that kind of cakey finish. I wouldn't say it's super long lasting. Definitely if it's pretty hot out and if I'm doing a lot of stuff, I will get shiny in my T-zone and maybe have to do a little touch up. But in general, for most days, I find it works great at keeping some of the oil down and keeping the makeup pretty set. And I also like to put a little bit of this on my eyelids just because they do tend to get oily, and I find that that helps with any eyeshadow. So that's all I use for the base of my face, and then we'll move on to, usually I do my eyebrows next, and this is kind of where the consolidated makeup capsule comes in a bit more, because basically I found that I really only need 3 different eyeshadow shades. You can do a lot with just these 3 eyeshadows, having a light shimmery shade, and then a cool brown, and some kind of darker shade. I have like a slightly shimmery black. The brown is definitely the hardest one to find a good one. I find that for my skin tone and what I'm looking for, I need quite a cool medium brown. And this is a compact from Elate. It's one of their refillable compacts, but none of these eyeshadows are actually Elate eyeshadows. I had initially purchased one of their browns, which online I thought was closer to the brown I was looking for, but it ended up being too warm. These eyeshadows are from a brand called Pure Aneda or Pure Aneda. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. And I found that they have a really nice brown as well as a great kind of white shimmery shadow, which works really well. And I'll show you how I use these. So I use this brown for my eyebrows, and that's why I guess finding the right shade is pretty important. And I just use an angled brush and some of that brown eyeshadow and fill in my eyebrows. And I found a powder like this works really well for filling in my eyebrows. I've tried various kinds of eyebrow specific products, and honestly this works just as well, if not better, and it's multi-purpose because it's an eyeshadow. I'm always terrible at getting my eyebrows even, especially with like just a little mirror, so we'll leave it there. And then I'll use the same brown in the corner and crease of my eye. Because I did mistakenly buy this other brown and I did use it, so I couldn't return it. I have been trying to use that one up as the eyeshadow, but you really can just use the exact same brown. And I just put that on the side and then bring it up into the crease. One little fluffy eyeshadow brush works really well for me. That looks like a lot of eyeshadow on camera. I'm gonna try to blend that out a bit. So then I'll go in with the light shade, just kind of in the inner corner and the inside of the eyelid. And depending how I'm feeling, I might put a little bit just under the eyebrow as well. So then I'll take the really dark shade, and I'll usually do that as more of an eyeliner, kind of close to the eye. And sometimes I'll use the eyeshadow wet if I want a much cleaner line. Sometimes I'll just kind of smudge it in a bit along the eyelashes, just really depending what I'm feeling. And if I want a bit more of a dramatic look, I can also take that a bit higher and do something more with the dark shade. But typically I'll just do a little line along my lash line and maybe wing it out a bit. And the thing I really love about eyeshadows is you can use them wet or dry, and you can get a lot more precision with a wet eyeshadow, but you can also get just a really nice soft look using them dry. So then all I have left to do for the eyes is mascara, and I'm currently using the Dr. Hauschka Defining Mascara. This is definitely one of my favorite natural mascaras I've tried. I'm still not 100% sure actually if I like the defining one or the volume one better. I've kind of switched back and forth between which are my favorites. It is a very liquidy formula, so sometimes it can kind of get around your eye as you're putting it on, but I find it really good in terms of there isn't a lot of clumping. It wears really well. It also cleans off really nicely. I have tried a few different mascaras and also some new makeup brands recently, and I definitely had some hits and misses. I think I might do an empties video for you guys, maybe for makeup and skincare, just like of all the beauty products I've tried in the last year, because I have been saving my empties. So I might have that in the next month or two. But anyways, this definitely is one of my favorite mascaras, the Dr. Hauschka ones. Although since I've used it last, they have changed the brush and made it smaller, which I don't think I like as much. I just find it gets a bit more on my eyelid while I'm putting it on, but it's easy to clean off, and other than that, it wears really well. So I just put that on both my top and bottom lashes. And this is actually the brown shade of the mascara, which I like for summer in particular because I think it's a little bit softer. And I'll usually use like the darker black one in the winter. It makes such a huge difference putting on mascara when you have blonde eyelashes. So because it is a more liquidy mascara, I do find that it takes a little bit of time to dry. For example, if I were to sneeze or look down, oftentimes I can get little spots of mascara on my eyes. So that is a con to this one, but other than that, I think it's definitely the best wearing one that I've tried. So then the final thing to do is lips, and with having a very small makeup collection, lips is really where I like to kind of play with it a bit depending on the seasons, maybe change out the color, get something a bit more dark for winter and something a bit lighter and brighter for summer. Now back in the fall, I tried the Clove and Hallow or Clove and Halo liquid lipsticks. This is the same one that I've had since the fall, and I really like these because they wear really well and I don't have to worry about them coming off. I also got a darker red one, which I was wearing a lot more in winter, but now that it's getting into summer, I find that this is a really nice neutral kind of brownie shade. And I might also pick up a pink lipstick for summer, something that's maybe a bit more moisturizing because this is a liquid lipstick, it's obviously pretty dry. And I do really like the 100% pure lip glazes, so I'm thinking of maybe getting something in a nice pink for summer. But for now, I've been wearing this one whenever I want to have some color on my lip. I really like the precision that you can get with a liquid lipstick, and it does look, I feel like, darker on camera than it is in person, but it's just a nice kind of nudie color that I really like if I'm going out anywhere. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you can also use this lighter shimmery shade as a highlight all over your face wherever you'd normally put highlighter. And the brown shade can also be used as a contour shade. So if you get the right shades for your skin tone, these can be incredibly versatile. So that is something that I'll do when I want a bit more of a dramatic makeup look, but not usually for my everyday look. So that is the finished look. This is basically what I wear almost every day that I'm wearing makeup, maybe with a lip or without. It's a pretty simple and easy makeup routine. It really doesn't take me that long, and I love having minimal products that all work well together. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear in the comments your thoughts on the idea of a makeup capsule. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one.